Okay, our next article is one that I'm not so happy about. Logitech officially discontinues its line of Harmony Universal remotes. So a couple things here. Number one, I have a Harmony Universal remote. It's a remote.
Me too.
That's beautiful, and I can never find it because my kids are masterful at losing remotes. It's unbelievable. But then I can just use my phone app when I can find my phone, and that works okay too.
Yep.
I find it very handy. What's fascinating to me, honestly, is that they're basically arguing that the market for universal remotes is going away. And I find that really, really interesting because I haven't seen that to be the case in my own use, right? Like I need a universal remote to control a sound bar, and I've got, a setup with a sound bar projector that needs a new bulb now, unfortunately. And a couple of other things. And a Roku, and it's really helpful to have that remote. I mean, what are your thoughts? I know you've got one, you've got a whole setup. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the Harmony, the Elite, the nice one. It's got the touchscreen display. First of all, I think the device, and I think we've recommended it in the past.
We have. Both of us have recommended, I believe. Yeah.
It's a beautiful device. Even if you don't need a new remote to control a bunch of stuff, I got to tell you, it's a beautifully built device that is so easy to use that you can map all of the things through the app. It works so well.
Yeah.
Every now and again, we have like connectivity issues and it kind of figures it out. But overall, it works really well, better than any other remote I've seen. So one thing about Logitech, I was super upset when I saw this article and this post. First, they're saying that the remotes are going to continue to work forever, like for the foreseeable future.
Sure, they will.
Right? They're not going to brick your device.
Okay.
What they're afraid of is people, a class action lawsuit basically coming for them, right? So they probably did the math and said like, hey, it's going to be cheaper to keep the servers running than deal with a class action lawsuit because we bricked everybody's device.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, Logitech is a big enough company that they can probably just be like, yeah, we'll just spend this $500,000 a year and just keep the servers running type of thing. So great, whatever. But the problem is that, inevitably the remotes are going to go bad, right?
Yeah.
You're going to drop them the wrong way and they're going to shatter. And then you'll be like, I can't buy a new remote now. And so then what are you going to do? So there's that. I don't really understand the motivation. I think they probably didn't think through it. And what it might be is that them as a company have gotten too big, right?
Yeah.
Like this division was probably not making enough money for them to think about like, hey, is this really worth the investment? So what I think this does do though, is it opens up an opportunity for an upstart or somebody else to come in and say like, hey, we're going to make the world's best remote.
Yeah.
And do something interesting. I didn't tag this article, but I just saw kind of on the same theme of home, like audio video stuff. Plex, the company, just raised a $50 million round of funding. Right?
Nice.
It's such well done software, and I paid for the lifetime, so I don't pay anything ongoing.
Right.
And I get the benefit of all the stuff that's going on with it. I think they are doing a fantastic job. Now, I didn't think of it until just now, but maybe Plex should take over the home remote side of it.
Hey.
That might be a really smart thing to do. But if not, somebody else, I mean, I think there's an opportunity there. If Plex can grow their business and get to the point where they're raising a $50 million round of funding, I think there's an opportunity for somebody to maybe reinvent the remote control and do something really, really interesting there too.
Well, we have an article that's coming up that is kind of reinventing the remote control. So maybe we should skip ahead one article to that. So that's the Spotify's Car Thing debuts as a limited release for selected US users. So I didn't misspeak. Okay. First of all, the name of the device from Spotify is Car Thing. Which makes no sense from a branding perspective. As a marketer, it just offends me a little bit. But whatever.
I really wonder about their marketing division over there.
It's
was it like
thing.
a late Friday and they're like, we have not come up with the name of this thing. I want to go home. It's in the car. It's a thing. Car Thing.
It's Car Thing. It's Car Thing. There's not even a logo. I mean, it's whatever. But it's basically this screen that and it's pretty small, apparently very lightweight. And it essentially, you think of it as a Spotify remote control that is dedicated to your car. So that's it. It's Bluetooth enabled. I think it'll plug into an aux cord. I think it's powered by, it's for older cars like mine. So it's powered by like a cigarette lighter adapter. and you just use it to control Spotify in your car. And I think the big kicker here is that it's voice controlled. So you can use just your voice to do different things in Spotify. So you'd say like, hey, Spotify, and do blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, honestly, I want to say my car's a 2013, and I could see this being pretty useful in my car. Honestly, like it's a useful looking device. I looked up, it's like $80, and okay, maybe that's something that I'll look into at some point, you know?
So I thought I saw somewhere that they were, at least maybe for some people, they were giving it away for free.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah,
shipping.
for testers up front. Yeah, you can sign up, be on a list, and you can be like a tester for it for free. But my guess is that that's an incredibly limited number of people.
Right.
But,
Oh, okay. Because when I saw that, I thought, oh, this thing is going to get taken apart and then redone and new firmware put in, and then it's not going to be the Spotify car thing anymore. It's going to be
like a tablet,
something other thing.
Yeah, like a phone or yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks interesting.
It's only minutes after you give away something for free that somebody's going to be like, I'm going to reverse engineer that thing and make it into something more useful.
Yeah.
And then I got the useful thing for free.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Exactly.
So let's jump back then to the previous article that we skipped over. Something that's not going to make you happy. Clubhouse data leak. 1.3 million scraped user records leaked online for free. And Clubhouse came out and said like, no, we were not hacked. This is data that you can get from our API. And it's a lot of data about the people that are on Clubhouse. And now I'm kind of glad I'm not on Clubhouse.
Well, I mean, it is and it's not, right? So I mean, I was looking at the information. So user ID, whatever, name. I mean, I think my name's already on Clubhouse that any user can see my name potentially. Yep. Photo URL. Okay. But I mean, again, that's kind of already out there. Username's already out there. Twitter handle's already out there. Instagram handle, number of followers, number of people followed, account creation date, and who invited me. So really the only thing in that whole list that's particularly private would be the who invited me part, I think.
Yeah. So that I think really opens up, like now they can figure out who knows who.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then using other pieces of data, then figure out a lot of other stuff about you.
Yeah.
The more concerning thing though, is their kind of laissez-faire approach of like,
yes, that's true. Yes.
No big deal. User data.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the user data. It's just out there available on the API. Just anybody go pull and do whatever you want with it. Like, that's the problem is that response. I agree with you completely there.
We don't care that they just used our API and pulled down everybody's info. That's no biggie.
No big deal. And I will say this too. That is a problem in the sense that you can just grab all the users and know who all the people are and associate with their Twitter handles. And then you can get, so that is a problem too. Just the accessibility of the data, right? I do have a problem with that.
They should be worried about this because now a competitor can go in and be like, hey, I know who all your users are. I'm just going to @ them one at a time.
And there's several competitors out there that are actively in process with companies with very, very deep pockets. Yeah. So it feels to me like you're just kind of giving away candy at the candy store at this point. Like, come on, you should know better than this.
Just from a competitive standpoint, this is not a good move for them personally.
I agree with you on that.
To make sure that they have a valuable and functioning company that's worth. Didn't we talk about it? It was like north of $1 billion.
I think it was like $4 billion was the last valuation that I saw. Yeah, 4 or 5 billion. Yeah, which I mean,
I don't know. If I was an investor in that paying $4 billion, I'd be like, maybe you should keep your user data a little bit safer.
I agree. I would say the same.
I don't know.
Thing.
Just thought. So.
All right, so our next article, no one or nobody is flying to join Google's FLoC. So
you got to say FLoC because then the headline doesn't make as much sense if you spell
but
it
it's
out.
more fun to mess with you. So all right, so let me try that again. Let me try that again. No one is flying to join Google's FLoC. So what is Google's FLoC, Sanjay?
So we talked about it previously. This is the replacement for the sunsetting of third-party cookies, third-party tracking cookies. And those are going away. And so Google obviously is scared because they need to figure out a way to track you and figure out stuff about you so that they can sell advertising to you and stuff. But apparently nobody, not Firefox, not Microsoft, not Brave, not any of the other browsers, not Opera, are like, yeah, we're not going to sign up for that. We're not going to use that. So maybe Google Chrome is the only browser that will be using Google's FLoC. So that should probably tell you if you use Google Chrome, maybe you shouldn't use Google Chrome.
Man, I moved away from Google Chrome a long time ago, and I'm not going back. I miss out on some extensions. Like there's a few little things here and there that are built for Chrome only that I miss out on, and I don't care. I'm okay with it. So
same here. I've got Chrome on my machine for every now and again when I need to use a site that's acting wonky.
Yeah, and you only use this in Google Chrome, which by the way, for people that develop web apps and stuff, don't do that. Just make it work on everything. I know it's some extra work. I know it's some extra code. I get it. I've been there. I've even run companies that had to do that garbage, but do the garbage. Make it accessible for everybody. That's all I'm trying to say.
You know, the equivalent of that on mobile is don't just make apps for iPhone and make them for Android too. But
that is true. That is, and there are increasingly bigger, more and more toolkits that make that easy, where you can have one code base and port it over to both. And that's getting better and better. So, all right, well.
So nobody's joining Google's FLoC. If you're still using Google Chrome, you should realize that
you're the
they
product.
are going to be putting things in there that are good for them and not for you. So maybe it's time to switch.